Why do some people genuinely prefer the quiet of their own home to the energy of a crowded bar or party? If the thought of staying in feels less like hiding and more like finally recharging, you're not alone. This preference is often misunderstood as being antisocial or lazy, but psychology suggests it's actually a sign of sophisticated self-regulation. It's about what environmental psychologists call restorative niche construction, the deliberate shaping of your environment to support your mental and neurological needs. Your brain isn't avoiding life, it's strategically choosing the conditions where it functions best. This isn't withdrawal, it's a different, more intentional form of engagement. Let's look at the 5 psychological traits that explain the homebody advantage. Trait 1. Low tolerance for performative socializing. If you love staying home, you've probably noticed a distinct pattern when you do go out. Many social gatherings are filled with what can only be described as performative socializing, conversations that are more about maintaining a social mask than forming a genuine connection. You find these interactions draining, not because you're shy, but because your brain recognizes the high cognitive cost of inauthenticity. It's the energy expended on small talk, on pretending to be interested, on performing a version of yourself that fits in. Your home is the one space where that performance can stop. It's where you don't have to dress a certain way, smile when you don't mean it, or explain your quiet moods. This isn't about disliking people. It's about valuing authentic connection so highly that you'd rather have solitude than superficial noise. This selective approach to socializing preserves your mental energy for the interactions that truly matter. Trait 2. High sensory intelligence. For many, a loud restaurant is just a background hum. But if you prefer staying home, you likely experience it as a sensory overload. This is linked to a trait known as sensory processing sensitivity. It's not a disorder, it's a neurological difference where you process sensory information more deeply. Your nervous system is simply more attuned to the details of your environment, the buzz of lights, the cacophony of overlapping conversations, the chaotic energy of a crowd. When you choose to stay home, you aren't avoiding the world out of fear. You are engaging in environmental optimization. You are curating your space, controlling the lighting, the sound, the temperature, to create conditions where your brain can operate without being overwhelmed. Think of it as running a high-performance system that requires a clean, controlled environment to avoid overheating from unnecessary data input. Trait 3. Home as a laboratory for self-development. What do you actually do with all that quiet time at home? While others might assume you're doing nothing, you're likely engaged in deep, meaningful work. Your home becomes a laboratory for self-development. This is where flow states happen, those periods of intense focus where you lose track of time while gardening, writing, building, or learning a complex new skill. These activities require uninterrupted concentration, something that's nearly impossible in a socially fragmented environment. Every interruption, every "what do you do for work?" question pulls you out of that deep cognitive state. So you aren't isolating yourself, you are incubating ideas and skills. Your home is your workshop, filled with the tools for your passions, allowing for the kind of sustained attention that leads to true mastery and personal growth. Trait 4. A high peace threshold. As we mature, our tolerance for drama and chaos often plummets. If you prefer home, you've likely developed what can be called a high peace threshold. This is a conscious, hard-earned standard for the kind of emotional environment you allow into your life. You've probably experienced friendships that were draining cycles of gossip or social circles fueled by negativity, and you've learned that drama is an incredibly expensive currency. Staying home is a direct boundary against that external chaos. It's a choice for quiet contentment over stimulating conflict. Neurologically, this isn't boring, it's rewarding. A peaceful evening with a book, a project, or a quiet companion can provide a more sustainable and profound sense of well-being than the fleeting highs of a chaotic night out. To a mind accustomed to noise, peace looks like boredom, but to you, it feels like freedom. Trait 5. self-sufficiency, and long-term focus. The ultimate sign of the homebody advantage is self-sufficiency. This aligns with what some researchers call the savanna theory of happiness, which suggests that for more introverted or intellectually focused individuals, frequent socialization can actually lower life satisfaction. Why? Because their goals are often long-term and internally driven. Your ability to be content within your own four walls is evidence that you have built a life you don't need to escape from. You are focused on inner growth, complex projects, and deep relationships rather than seeking constant external validation. This self-sufficiency means your well-being isn't dependent on the shifting tides of social plans. You haven't withdrawn from the world. You've simply built a rich, engaging world inside, one that supports your brain's need for depth, purpose, and calm. So the preference for home isn't a weakness, it's a strategic, brain-friendly lifestyle rooted in self-awareness. If this analysis of the homebody advantage resonates with you, let me know which trait you identify with most in the comments. For more evidence-based insights into how your mind works, subscribe to Cognitive Insights.